What if I told you that right now, over 10,000 satellites from one single company are orbiting Earth, and that number is growing fast? And what if some of them are already breaking apart, creating dangerous debris? Space used to feel infinite, but today, it's starting to feel like rush hour, 550 kilometers above our heads. Is Starlink creating a space traffic problem? Or is this just the necessary price of connecting the world? Stick with me till the end, because the answer could affect everything from your internet to future space exploration. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Starlink and a growing concern in the space community. Is it creating a space traffic problem? Starlink has revolutionized internet access, bringing high-speed connectivity to remote areas, ships, planes, and even war zones. But with nearly 10,000 satellites already in orbit and plans for many more, questions are being raised. Are we turning low Earth orbit into a crowded highway? What happens when satellites fail or break apart? And how real is the risk of a cascading collision disaster? Let's separate the facts from the fears. Let's start with the numbers. As of 2026, Starlink operates around 10,000 satellites in low Earth orbit. That's more than all other active satellites in the world combined. SpaceX has launched over 11,000 in total, with most still operational. They orbit at about 550 kilometers altitude, relatively low, which helps with lower latency, but also means they're in one of the busier regions. The goal is global broadband, and from a connectivity standpoint, it's been incredibly successful. But when one company controls such a large percentage of objects in orbit, it changes the dynamics of space. Think of it like this. Imagine one airline suddenly putting thousands of planes on the same popular routes. Even with excellent pilots and technology, the risk profile changes. Low Earth orbit is getting crowded fast. According to the European Space Agency's 2026 Space Environment Report, collision risk in certain orbits has increased by about 20%. The 550-kilometer band, where many Starlink satellites operate, is particularly affected. Why? Because debris density is approaching the same level as active satellite density in some areas. This is new. In the past, most objects in space were either big government satellites or pieces of old rocket stages. Today, we're adding thousands of small, maneuverable satellites every year. SpaceX itself reported performing around 300,000 collision avoidance maneuvers in 2025 alone. That's a 50% jump from the previous year. On average, that's dozens of maneuvers per satellite per year. And experts project that number could hit 1 million maneuvers annually by 2027 if current trends continue. Every maneuver uses fuel. Every close approach adds stress to the system. And every failure adds to the problem. In late 2025 and again in March 2026, Starlink experienced rare but concerning events. In December 2025, one satellite suffered an anomaly, created a small amount of debris, and lost contact. Then, in March 2026, Starlink satellite 34343 broke apart at around 560 kilometers altitude. Leo Labs, a space tracking company, detected tens of objects in the area. SpaceX said the event poses no new risk to the International Space Station or upcoming missions. But experts like astrophysicist Jonathan McDowell noted that while the immediate risk increase is modest, around 10% for nearby orbits, repeated events raise bigger questions. If these breakups are due to a design or manufacturing issue, the problem could scale with the constellation. Even small fragments traveling at 17,000 miles per hour can cause catastrophic damage. And once debris is created, it can stay in orbit for years. It's not just about collisions. Starlink is also affecting how we see the universe. Astronomers have been raising alarms for years. These satellites are bright, especially right after launch when they fly in trains. Even after they fade, they still create streaks across long exposure images. For wide field surveys and certain types of research, this is becoming a real problem. Some observations now need to be discarded or heavily corrected. Radio astronomy is also affected by interference. While SpaceX has worked on making satellites darker and adjusting their orientation, many researchers say it's not enough for the scale of the constellation. The night sky is part of our shared heritage. When thousands of moving points of light cross it every night, something is being lost, not just for scientists, but for everyone who looks up. To their credit, SpaceX is not ignoring these issues. In early 2026, they announced they would lower approximately 4,400 satellites from 550 kilometers to 480 kilometers over the course of the year. Why? Lower orbits mean failed satellites will deorbit much faster due to atmospheric drag, reducing long-term debris risk by over 80% in some cases. There are also fewer objects in planned constellations below 500 kilometers. They've also developed Stargaze, a space traffic management system that uses star tracker cameras on Starlink satellites themselves. It collects millions of observations daily and shares data to help predict and avoid close approaches. In one reported case, it helped avoid a potential collision with very little warning time. SpaceX argues that their satellites are designed to be responsible, with autonomous avoidance, controlled deorbiting, and high reliability. They say only a tiny fraction have failed so far. But here's the bigger concern. Starlink is not the only player. Other companies and countries are planning their own mega-constellations, some with tens of thousands of satellites. China, Amazon's Kuiper, and others are all entering the race. If everyone operates independently without strong coordination, the risks multiply. The theoretical worst-case scenario is Kessler Syndrome, a cascade of collisions creating so much debris that certain orbits become unusable. We're not there yet, but every new constellation, every breakup, every uncoordinated maneuver pushes us closer to a more dangerous environment. Space is no longer empty, it's becoming infrastructure. And like any infrastructure, it needs rules, coordination, and long-term thinking. So, is Starlink creating a space traffic problem? It's contributing to one significantly. The scale is unprecedented. The congestion is real. The debris incidents are concerning. At the same time, Starlink is providing real value to millions of people who previously had no reliable internet. And SpaceX is taking some proactive steps. The real question isn't whether we should stop progress. It's whether we're managing this new era of space responsibly. Stronger international coordination, better debris mitigation standards, and transparency from all operators will be essential. If this video made you think differently about what's happening above our heads, then like it and share it. Drop a comment. Do you think mega-constellations like Starlink are worth the risks? Or should there be stricter limits on how many satellites we put in orbit? The sky used to be something we looked up to and wonder. Let's make sure we don't turn it into something we have to worry about. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay curious.